Hello, everyone. See, I did actually did a beginning check to ask if I was muted or not. How's everyone doing? How is everyone doing? I look sleep deprived? Nah. Professional streamer, of course. Everyone's doing well. We all can hear me. Everyone's happy. Everyone's doing good, safe, sound, healthy. Just hopefully everyone's healthy. Good. All right. Let us get started. So, welcome to SideQuest, everyone. SideQuest is weekly, Wednesday, TLDR, video game news as quick as possible. Yes, we have heating in your home. I just wear the toque to hold back my extremely long hair, and because I don't want to do it because I don't leave the house anymore. Anyways. All right. So, welcome to SideQuest weekly TLDR gaming news for this last week. Let's get right into it. Gonna punch these out quick as possible. If you have questions, Ray Edwards, thank you for the $20 donation, sir. You are so generous every single time. So, yeah. If you have questions, save them for the end, during the question period, and let's get right into the news after we do a quick thank you to our channel members at the tier 4 as well as tier 5 membership levels. So big thank you to Austin, DINA, Fast Vlogs, as well as Positive Sarcasm for their tier 4 as well as tier 5 channel memberships. If you guys want to learn more about channel memberships and all the various perks that you get, there is a link in the description accompanied by a trailer. And let's move on to the news. So big thank you to those people. So first things first, The Wolf Among Us 2 is coming out, and we actually got a release trailer. This game was actually in development before Telltale as a company and a publisher was sheltered because they simply ran out of money. Basically, you guys remember Telltale, they had the makers of the original Walking Dead series, which was really critically acclaimed. There was a Walking Dead 2, there's 3 seasons of the mainline game. There was a Michonne spinoff, and then there was another one that basically was all side characters. The publisher really, and then they also did a bunch of special IP with like Guardians of the Galaxy, as well as the Telltale Batman series. They spent a lot of money. Oh, they also did like a Game of Thrones one as well. They spent a lot of money on licensing different franchises, and just at the end of the day, the licenses, I guess, they just didn't pay off, so they just ended up losing a ton of cash, and then eventually just the company got basically shut down. So it was obviously this one, and at the end of it, they were also working, they also had The Wolf Among Us, obviously, and they were actually working on the sequel to The Wolf Among Us before, and then pretty much it didn't happen because the company went bankrupt. But it looks like with this one, they got extra support from publishing money from Warner Brothers as well as DC. So they got supplemental money to actually finish the game, which is exciting. I'm not exactly like by the end, just on Telltale in general, they like the franchises of The Walking Dead did extremely well. Obviously, the licensing stuff didn't work out, although I did really enjoy the Batman series. I think the main knock of the company and how it really didn't survive basically by itself is that they didn't really evolve as a company in terms of the gameplay and the overall gameplay they presented. What they did extremely well is that they told great stories, but in all honesty, the games didn't run that well, especially because they're trying to push it on so many different platforms all at once. Literally, the games are on every platform, and they just weren't really optimized for that. So, and also they didn't, to be honest, the game, this the company really focused on in like morality systems and making choices. But at the end of the day, from all the games that I played, to be honest, the choices really didn't impact the overall ending of the games. So yeah, I always said this every time that I played a new chapter of a Telltale series, is that like basically anytime that blurb shows up at the very beginning of the game that your choices impact how the game will play, it was like literally the biggest lie in gaming. Like it didn't really impact your decision, really didn't impact the overall ending. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. The biggest lie in gaming, exactly. Next, so there's a bunch of indie games that, so 7 indie games that PlayStation announced. I'm not exactly sure if they're all exclusive, to be honest with you. Oh, sorry, this is the back, this one. So there are 7 new indie games that are coming to PlayStation. There are indie games I'm not a huge thing of. I focus more on the AAA, but probably this one is the one that excites me the most. That the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle one, Shredder's Revenge, because it gives me the Ninja Turtles in Time vibes from the SNES era, those type of vibes. So kind of excited and kind of hyped for that. So we'll see how it plays out. Yeah, it looks cool. It looks like a good recreation of the original source material. And look at that, we got like a Master Splinter doing this time. Master Splinter looks like he's gonna be available to play as this time as well. So I'm excited for Turtles in Time, basically reimagining. Next, so 14 months later, 14 months later, guys, we have the next gen patch for Cyberpunk 2077 that is out, coming up. Oh, just back on the Telltale thing, there's no actual release date, but it's not even coming this year. I don't know why they announced it so early. It's coming out like 2023. So yeah, next gen PS5 and Xbox One patch for Cyberpunk 2077 is out now. Their ray tracing 5-hour trial if you do not have the game. There's also different performance modes. So if you want 60 FPS, there's a 60 FPS. There's performance mode for PlayStation 5. If you want ray tracing as well as SSR quality with full light flares, you want to be playing on the ray tracing mode. And then basically the exact same thing for Xbox Series S and X. S obviously doesn't do the 60 FPS because it's kind of like the trimmed down version of the Xbox console. But if you want 60 FPS on performance mode, you're looking at Xbox Series X. General thoughts. I never finished my Cyberpunk 2077 walkthrough just because I don't know why I didn't finish it. The game just didn't really draw me in, to be honest with you. And then what made it worse is that my first episode got flagged for copyright for some odd reason. So that always kind of threw a wrench in my entire series. But yeah, let me know if you guys are you planning to revisit Cyberpunk 2077 with the next gen console patch? No idea. So we have a new king. Next up, PlayStation 5, despite all these semiconductor shortages, was the best-selling console in January in the United States. The reason why this is news is because basically for the last 2 years, Nintendo Switch has been holding this mantle as the best-selling console since like 2019. So I think we're probably reaching the point where all the people who want Switches have them already, and we're reaching a point where now people are picking up PS5s. They're picking up current generations. So maybe that's an indication that supply chain issues with people picking up PlayStation 5s are starting to finally be able to get them, which is a good thing. Stupid scalpers kind of ruining it for everyone. What's also interesting is that the Xbox Series S as well as Xbox Series X was in second place. So the Switch is even further down that list. So that's exciting. Good news for Sony. Good news for Xbox. It seems like overall everything is going well in the video game industry, which is always a good sign. Things are positive. Things are going well. And PlayStation top console of last month. Next one. This one took me, completely floored me, because I knew that Horizon Zero Dawn sold a lot of copies, but if I were to like place a bet on like an estimate on how many copies it actually sold, I was gonna guess like 12 million copies. But like 20 million copies of Horizon Zero Dawn. That's insanity. And you have to keep in mind, this was the first game in the entire franchise, a brand new IP. Brand new IPs, like, they don't, like, typically brand new IPs don't sell this many copies because it's brand new. Not many people want to pick it up because they're unsure of what exactly you're going to be getting. And apparently it actually hit this number last November. I was reading up another article. It actually hit the 20 million mark last November, but Guerrilla and Sony decided to release the news. Obviously this week we have the release of Horizon Zero Dawn coming out this week. My playthrough of it actually starts tomorrow, so my walkthrough of Horizon Zero Dawn starts tomorrow actually. So they just like to kind of pile on the Horizon Forbidden West news. Just 20 million copies, which is absolutely crushing it. Just absolutely outstanding. It's insane. So yeah. All right, so let's move on to the Capcom news, which is the biggest news of this week. So Capcom resolves a lawsuit over images used in Resident Evil 4. So Resident Evil 4 came out a very long time ago. We're talking like over a decade ago. Critically acclaimed, one of the best games, especially it was like when it came out, it was like the reason to own a GameCube because it first came out on GameCube and that was the only way that you could play it. Eventually it's been ported multiple times and remastered a bunch of times. But so basically a designer known as Judy A. Karasik sued Capcom late last year, claiming that they illegally stole some of her assets, her photography assets, and incorporated them directly into Resident Evil 4. And if you take a look at some of the images, I actually have it pulled it up here because it's a little bit harder to see. If you take a look at the images of some of the examples that she provided, it's pretty much like if you take a look at this RAM thing that's in this book right here in the Resident Evil remake, pulled from the Resident Evil remake. So this is what was in the game, and this was her source material on the left here. Kind of, it's kind of can't really argue. And if you take a look at the logo on the left, this is her source image, and this is the image that was put inside the game on the right here, and then down here on the HD remaster. Take a look at this. Take a look at this door that was in the game on the right, and you took at her source material on the left. Trend, we got a trend going on here, and then we have, whoops. Go back. And then we have this texture right here, her source material on the left, and then in-game stuff on the right. So she sued Capcom last year for It's just a little sus, yeah. So she was seeking for around $12,000 to $25,000 per image that she claimed that they sold. That would have accounted to 25. I think it accounted to, like, if she got everything that she wanted, it would have accounted to like $25 million. But they settled out of court. Basically, before they went to court, there was a settlement. So yeah, that's so copyright isn't just a thing that's on YouTube. It is a thing that is everywhere, even in major publishers stealing textures from hardworking designers, basically. So yeah, that brings us into the next set of news. Continuing on the Resident Evil theme, is that we have a Resident Evil remake that has been rumored to be happening, which just makes a lot of sense, because we've had basically every major Resident Evil remake happen thus far. We've had the RE2 and RE3 remake, so we're building up to the big daddy, which is the RE4 remake, which we will probably hear more about on February 22nd, mainly because Capcom is expected to do some sort of reveal for it. So at this point, it's all just rumors. So just to answer your guys' question, so she sued for a certain amount, but they've already settled for undisclosed amount of money. With anytime you have these out of court settlements, the terms of the settlement are usually held by an NDA, so we will never know exactly how much she got out of the settlement payment. So yeah, so Resident Evil 4 remake most likely gonna happen. Probably gonna get a reveal in 4 or 5 days. February 21st is what they've been teasing exactly what's supposed to happen. And just on the issue of copyright as well, this isn't the issue. This isn't the first time that Capcom has kind of been involved with copyright issues. So a director claimed that they stole one of his monster designs from a movie called Frankenstein's Army, Red Band clip. So here's the monster from the movie played. So you guys remember like the helicopter head boss in Resident Evil Village? So this is a video of the boss, or from Frankenstein's Army. It looks very similar to the... Oh, don't put your hand there. Oh, okay. Oh, they killed it. So that's from the movie. Frankenstein's Army. And this is from the Resident Evil Village game. Right here. So, kinda sus. Where they're grabbing their monster designs. Yeah, they totally just ripped that off. They just totally ripped that off from Frankenstein's Army. So Capcom is not new to the whole copyright issue thing. So yeah, and that's pretty much the news for this week. I will take questions now. So Raiders ask, Saints Row reboot. I don't think that the Saints Row game is gonna come out this year. Sorry, I think that it's gonna be next. I haven't heard much or seen much of it, and that's really concerning. So I think it's probably going to be a 2023 thing. I'm excited. I thoroughly enjoyed Saints Row. And yeah, I'm excited for it. That's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, I will take them. Just as we await more questions. Yeah, I'm excited for Elden Ring. Super excited. I don't have my review code for it yet, but I'm excited to get it eventually. I probably will be streaming the majority of the game. Horizon. No news. There's no news of Fable 3. And no news of State of Decay. Oh, did you know there's also one news item that I missed on? So you guys remember how Ubisoft teased that Beyond Good and Evil game at a E3 a couple of years ago? Apparently that game is just it hasn't even been started yet. It's still in early development. So that's kind of a cheese off. Yeah. It is a Herm Militaire Altanova. So just a couple things as we take questions is I've heard of Luca Magnotta. Tara and I watch a lot of true crime stuff. I'm not playing Destiny anymore, so I'm not gonna be playing the expansion. I'm not exactly sure how long the first part of Horizon will be. To be honest, I haven't played it yet. I'm about to play it as soon as this stream ends. Scale of 1 to 10 contain the most. I think it'll be a good game. I expect it to, if I were to give it based on my experience with Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3 remake, it's gonna be at least an 8 out of 10 game. So yeah. I don't know why they teased that game if it was still if they still was in early development. Skull and Bones, I have no idea what's going on with that game. I think they probably are completely revamping it. It wasn't that I played it and honestly I wasn't impressed with it. Yeah, I probably will be streaming Elden Ring. A lot of it. I did the exact same thing with Bloodborne as well. I streamed a lot of Bloodborne, and then maybe I'll condense the videos into the actual walkthrough. Any classics that are vintage games I would like to see remakes or reboots? No, I'm never wanting more remakes because I feel like the majority of games that have been worth a remake have had remakes at this point. Nabil, you're thinking of the remaster for PS4. So a remake is a completely different from a remaster. A remaster is basically they just add high definition textures, but the core gameplay, the core mechanics of the game are the exact same from the previous game. A remake, by definition, is a complete overhaul, basically building the game from the ground up, but just maintaining the same environments and the same overall stories. So a remake is, that's different. That's the difference between a remake and a remaster. Bloodborne sequel would be nice. Doesn't Bloodborne really need a sequel though? You can literally just make an entire brand new franchise, and so long as it has that From Software label on it and that From Software hype, it will still sell like hotcakes. So I don't think that Bloodborne needs a true sequel. You just make something new, and then you're not limited to a certain site, a certain vision or a certain type of mechanic, you know what I mean? No news about Sly 5. No news about Sly 5. Not exactly, Richard. I don't know when I'm gonna be streaming Dying Light again, because I'm gonna sit down and do a bunch of recordings for Horizon, because my series will go out next week. So sorry, it will be going up tomorrow. I miss Assassin's Creed 2. But we do have the Ragnarok DLC that's coming out next month in March, which I'm excited for. I will be covering the Ragnarok DLC. I don't know. Capcom, I don't know. I discussed this in a previous side quest. What's going to be the next thing or the next company that Capcom or that will be purchased. So all right, thank you everyone for coming out. There's a couple things I do want to shout out and give you guys updates for. Like I said, we will be Horizon will be starting tomorrow because that is the international release date. And then as well, I opened up one video I do want to shout out that is now publicly available for everyone else out is my Pokemon Legends Arceus review that is available for everyone to watch now. It was available 5 days earlier for channel members, but now it is publicly viewable for everyone. Also, due to popular demand, I did open a Discord server. I haven't publicly done a social media post for it. I basically have been linking people who show up for my live streams as well as channel members, because I feel like if you guys are here to watch live streams or any of my live streams, you're most likely interested in probably more dedicated fans from the channel. I don't really want the hugest Discord server ever, because I feel like I want the people who are there to want to be there, basically. That way we can kind of minimize the amount of trolls, the negativity, because face it, despite all our screening, we're gonna get those. Eventually you will get negative people. So I feel like if I just limit it to channel members as well as people who actually show up to the live streams, and then we'll just try to keep it as much of as a positive and safe space as possible. So yeah, I don't think Jack and Daxter is gonna come back anytime soon, to be honest with you. But yeah, Pokemon Arceus review as well as my Discord is now available for you guys who show up to the live stream. And RE3 remake, the remake, it's gonna happen. We're gonna get eventually a couple of generations down from now, we're gonna get remakes of remakes. It's gonna happen. But yeah, that's pretty much it, everyone, for your side quest for February 16th 2022. Favorite Pokemon game, Pokemon Emerald. It's my favorite Pokemon game. Garth Ninja, thank you. Gear for Napa, thank you so much for your kind of words. I'm glad that you enjoyed Dead Space as well as the Destiny 1 days. But yeah, thank you guys for coming out to side quests. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the news as well as the question period. Look forward to all the series that are starting up in the near future. And that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for coming, and have a good rest of your